So, without further ado, we'll go ahead and open it up for questions. Someone, I don't know who.
Give a visual update to Mike Marino.
This is a relaunch to Mike Marino, actually.
Thanks, Gene.
Big improvement. We'll go ahead and open it up for questions, and we'll have some people out there asking anything about relaunch at all. Do we have a question out there? Those lights, four lights. Yeah, go ahead and ask your tell me your summoner name first and your favorite champion, and then ask your question.
My summoner name is the Grim Loveland. Favorite champion's probably Annie.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah.
Love Annie. Thank you. So my question is Teemo relaunch, Teemo rework and visual update, or Teemo rework?
Or Teemo removal.
He's not the highest priority. There is one of the character artists who he only plays Teemo.
Only.
So we already play draft his band Teemo, and he's useless. But he loves Teemo, and he's actually been doing some stuff, kind of like how we do. At Riot, you're free to do what you are really passionate about, and we're actually thinking there is a level here that we didn't describe where it's just a texture update, just something and it's something that we don't really feel would even be announced ooh, here's the new texture update, but his actual geometry and his actual thematic is pretty solid. I think we could bring his textures up to a better, because really all you look at you just see is the green helmet. We can make that better. We can make the mushrooms better. So yeah, if we were gonna do anything, I think it would just be a texture update, really. So.
Yeah.
Do you want more? Do you want us to totally
I think gameplay wise, I don't think we'd be looking to shift Teemo's identity. He is kind of the quintessential trapper character. And the thing that's magical about Teemo to me is how trolly his gameplay is with that little frickin' smile on his face. Because you want to strangle the shit out of that guy when you see him, right? It's super good. I wouldn't want to change that about it. Thank you, that was a good question.
All right, thank you.
He has an ability called Toxic Shot.
Yeah, makes him a toxic player.
Yeah. Next question over here.
Okay.
On your stage left. Okay, my summoner name is Titoshi. My favorite champion is Sona and Janna, because I'm a support player. Thanks for the relaunch of Soraka and Karma. Thank you so much. That was so needed. Question is, Rammus. I'm a huge Rammus player as well. Anything on Rammus or anything?
Hey.
He's been out since beta, so
Totally.
we have to something.
All right. So I'm gonna give you. It's funny that Teemo and Rammus, because actually I'm working on Rammus. Again, his geometry and his animations are pretty good. He just goes okay, and he does that. But
I'd say his animations are okay.
Yeah, Rammus is okay. That's what we're trying to say. But so what I'm doing right now on the side is, we're giving him a texture update. I'm redoing his textures, making him look a little more rich, particularly on the Ninja Rammus skin. I'm trying to make it look like a splash. And some of the things from the metal Rammus skin, how when he spins, the blades come out. I took the blades from Ninja Rammus and put them on the power ball so that you'll see so just little things like that. It's very, very low cost. It's very easy. So it's one of those things that we are working on. I kind of have it. We just kind of need to, QA it and make sure it looks good and make sure.
Yeah, Corey, get on it.
Blame Corey for any delay.
Now, this is a question because I want to focus mainly on the King Rammus skin.
Oh yes.
That's the special edition one.
Yeah.
Will there be a little more green in it?
Look more green.
Yes.
Oh yeah, like the splash. It actually looks really, really awesome. Like I said, all the colors, the old colors were very monotone. This is green, this is yellow.
Right.
But one of the new tenets of our style guide is we like to use a lot of color variation. So he feels really, really rich. The shadows are kind of cool, and the highlights are nice and warm. So yeah, it looks better. And yes, all the skins will get a little bit of a texture.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you. All right, next.
Hey guys, my summoner
name's Warm Turtle. Camarella.
Warm Turtle.
Oh, hey, what's up, dude?
Hey.
How you doing? You actually kept it. Did you get your name changed and then keep it?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Rivington gave it to me.
Nice.
History. Shout out to Mancast for Iron Styles.
Hi.
So yeah, I just was wondering what is the long term, like do you see this being sort of like an Ouroboros of like just eternally relaunching? Or will you feel like eventually you've achieved like global fidelity where you just sort of retire the team?
That's an awesome question. Then we're out of job, you're saying?
I see his motivations.
I think, so I mean, so for me personally, I think a lot of us have kind of like an idea, like probably 40 to 50 champions we feel are at least the main targets. Beyond that, there's like the secondary, the tertiary that we would like to hit on, maybe just upgrade fidelity-wise. But we're OCD. We probably want to do everything. Like, we'd probably be like, oh yeah, let's totally redo Draven, because like we should just make it look more awesome. Like, there's like no stopping point unless we put some constraints on ourselves. So I think probably what we'll end up doing is, for me at least, I think maybe around, I could see even up to like Vayne having that type of upgrade, even up to that point. Only recently, only up until recently did we start kind of like consistently establishing what our style looks like. And so I think it'll almost like the relaunch effort, if you would call it that, will almost like phase out as that has now come into effect.
And and furthermore, I think that we have a live design team. I can foresee a relaunch team turning into almost a live art team, where like League of Legends is kind of a living game. It's always changing, and so there's always going to be work to be done on characters. So as it evolves, other things will evolve, and we'll have art tasks that need to happen. So at the very end, I do see it turning into more of a live art team that makes life.
Right now, it's a strike force.
We're like ninjas.
Yeah, that's a good question. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Hi, my son, her name is Acacius, and my favorite character is Zillion. So I was curious, with the relaunch of Twisted Fate, there was a new splash art for him, and then there was new splash art for him. And I was just curious, why did that happen?
Actually, the first update they took to the splash art, I believe, was the art from our publisher, China Tencent. And so they tend to do their own splash art because they have their own sort of market, and they know how to, I guess, make the game look appealing to, players over there. So we knew that splash looked a lot better than the Pizza Feet model page over that we had currently. So we kind of replaced that temporarily because it just looked better until we got an actual splash rework done. And that's why we upgraded again. But that's like a thing that we're going to do is like, I know a few years down the road we'll look at the current TF maybe and we'd be like, I bet I could do that better this time. So that happens a lot. Especially like, I personally did the current Katarina splash art like a few years back or like a year ago, and every time I see it I'm just like, oh, I could have done that better. I want to do it again now.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, but also, the 10-cent splash art wasn't representative of what the model turned into.
That too,
if you look at the Twisted Fate trailer that we made, we based Twisted Fate's relaunch look off of that, and that became the new Twisted Fate look. So we had the old dirt one, and then the kind of cool 10-cent one, and then the super cool one that was actually the one that what he looks like. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
there you go.
Could you do the same thing with Hextech Janna? Just swap that so she actually has blonde hair and looks...
For the splash art?
Yeah,
Swap it with the...
with the Chinese one.
Oh, we're actually putting more of an effort to do all of the rework splashes, like, as fast as we can. So we don't want to swap too many, because if we change stuff too rapidly, I don't know, like, I personally do get attached to art, and it's hard for me, like, when I play video games and when I play League of Legends, to be like, oh, new splash art, okay, this is new, alright, I'm kind of used to it, okay, I like it now it's a part of my life. Oh my god, they changed it again! So it's emotional, so yeah, we want to not change it too rapidly, and yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. Right, we got a next question.
Yeah, how's it going?
Hello.
My summer name is Rush Design, and my
favorite champion Ziggs because he's a lot of fun. This is awesome. Okay. Also, big thank you to Riot Jaws for inviting me here to PAX for the collegiate program.
Good guy, Jaws.
So my question is, I've worked a lot on video game projects from going through university, and from being a lead in that kind of team mindset, is there lots of are there certain teams that are just working on one champion the entire time? That's the rework, or do they bounce back and forth often? Or are there people that are on two teams at once? Or
I mean, it's kind of a little bit of everything. We have some people that are dedicated. We have some people that do everything. Some people that are juggling a bunch of different champions at once.
cool.
I'm on several teams myself, so Relaunch is one of my primary responsibilities, but it's not my only one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on Relaunch 80% of the time, but if I see something I really like Arcade Hack Room, I chime in and do some stuff.
No one will touch any dino skins except for me.
We need to work on that.
Yeah, sorry. Separation of that.
So yeah.
All right, thanks guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm SP Zone, and my favorite champion's gotta be Vancouver Amumu.
Nice.
And as a fan of things like Vancouver Amumu, it was a bit of a bittersweet moment for me when Ash was updated and my Freljord Ash was nice looking now. I was hoping just to ask if you could never touch Vancouver Amumu ever. It's perfect.
Dude, so those skins Vancouver Amumu and Team Spirit Anivia, where it's just red foot,
It's like a popsicle.
blue thing. Yeah. So yeah, man, I think we'll just make it look better, but we're not gonna it is what it is. I don't even know how to make it look better. It's perfect the way it is.
There's a certain amount of, once these skins are kind of it's kind of like what Katie was saying about Splash. These are already part of our language, right? And they're limited edition on top of it, so it's kind of who has those skins and cares about those? People who bought those 4 years ago, right? Let's make sure to just make it so, Team Spirit and Nivea should look like a popsicle, right? Just look like a popsicle. It's tasty. I mean, some players want it not tasty, that's fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my summoner ID is Enunetic, and I'd say it's Sona or Cassandra, from Cassiopeia, sorry, is my...
Cassandra?
Yes.
Awesome.
My question actually is about, as the pool of champions is increasing, what kind of strategy is there surrounding, you're talking about relaunch, but how do you balance that with the potential of either limiting the number of champions available or removing champions altogether? Is there some kind of strategy or outlook in the long term for accessibility or even making it balanced when you have too many potential champions?
This is a question. It's a good question because this one comes up in pretty much any Q&A. Is how many champions is too many, right? And the answer to that is depends on what problems champion numerics create, right? You brought up a couple that are commonly pointed out, which is balanceability, learning curve, things like that. I think my take on the matter is there is a number that's too many. You told me there's 5,000 champions. Okay, that's silly, right? But so there's clearly a number that is too many. I think we're not entirely sure where that is yet. I think it's when that stuff starts actually looking like a problem. But the big thing to me is it's less about number of champions and more about the ways we fix these problems. For example, the learning curve thing is only a problem because honestly, we don't have a lot of good methods in place to show you. You leave for 3 months, go do some other stuff, come back and start playing League again, which is pretty common. The hell is this Blob dude, Demon Bro, and Gunman dude? I don't know, right? And you're not just gonna go look that stuff up. That's not realistic. That's not a clean experience. So what if we had ways to teach players in real time what they need to know about what they're facing? You don't need to know all the intricacies, but you need to know, okay, Lucian's gonna use his ult. It fires in line, you need to stay out of it, right? Giving players basic information in the first game. I'd like us to approach the problem from those methods first, see how bad the problem is. The balance problem is kind of a red herring because our game's only become more balanced as we've done more champions, therefore I don't have any correlations yet to balancing number of champions. It's harder, but we just keep growing the team and getting better at it, so that's been able to scale so far. So there is so TLDR, there is a number. I don't know what it is. I don't think we're close to it yet. We need to do other stuff better first.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a great question. Next.
My summer name is Robert Boyle, and I'm kind of a hipster, so I would love to play the champions that I feel are undervalued or underplayed. And currently, I'm a dedicated Poppy player.
Right.
I have about, I don't know, over 1,000 games in ranked with Poppy, season 3. So I love my Poppy. And I love Sejuani. I feel like Sejuani was a home run. I think that you nailed her. I used to play her a ton in season 2. I love Urgot, and I feel like Urgot, it just got nerfed because he needed to. He was too good. He was just underplayed until I think it was at this tournament where tons of people started playing him and then kind of unlocked his potential or showed how broken some of his early game potential was.
Right.
So my question is, how do you go about nerfing or changing these champions? Like Poppy is such a, that's a Pandora's box. I mean, I don't even want to mention it because I'm afraid you're going to change her now. But she's like this Pandora's box because she's so intricate and there's so many problems with her balance-wise, but at the same time, that's why I love her. So how do you change her while still making me have fun? Like,
I think the answer to the question is there's certain things we're not going to do, and those things are, if you say hipster in a joking way, but I think there's good and bad versions of liking underappreciated champions. I play the same way, actually, right? Like I picked Anivia and then stuck with her because I knew nobody played her in beta, right? Yeah. So, but the thing is, when are you fixing a popularity problem? That's not something we actually want to go after that much. Are you fixing a problem with a game like Poppy is like just smash you in the face, has really unbeatable skills, like you said, she has a number of issues. We need to fix those kinds of problems. Do we want to go make Urgot cool and like the slick dude? No, look, like nobody likes Urgot, but the people who like Urgot freaking love Urgot, right? You gotta keep that. There's a difference. I gotta keep this shorter than I'm wanting to here. But there's a difference between a niche champion and a flat champion, right? A niche champion is pretty intricate and interesting, but they're a little weird and out there, and they don't have a big broad appeal. Urgot's a good example of this. I think Poppy. Well, yeah, Poppy's a good example of this, but she has other problems. I think Victor's great. But so there's a lot of these champions. We don't want to change that they're intricate and niche. What we do is think about champions though, like Sivir. Who is she? If you actually give me the accurate answer, you can say a banker. Like, okay, nobody actually cares about that, so really. Like, but people do care about these other champions. So managing that and trying to get more data from player feedback, trying to understand it ourselves, things like that kind of tell us which approach to take. With Poppy, we're gonna have to take a jackhammer to her, but it's not gonna be to go make her more popular. It's gonna be go to fix the problems that are either gonna make her a nerfer if you ever see her tournament play now. and the things that hold her back. Art probably has something to say about Poppy.
Yeah.
Imagine.
I think Josh has. We'll continue a little bit about that. I think Josh especially has a passion for what he calls the Yordle unification pass.
So if you guys read the forums, I kind of asked a broad question, and I really have no opinion on the matter. But I asked a question to you guys about where Yordles are, and I got a bunch of different answers, like just leave them alone, to hey man, I don't get why, leave Poppy alone. But what I want to say is, if you're asking me artistically, about Yordles, I don't get the male and the female, but I'm cool with that. But if you ask me if there was a Yordle female that was like on target, close to the target, I'd say maybe Lulu from an aesthetic point. She's kind of got that, sort of feralness to her, but she's still super cute. Yeah, pointy teeth, pointy ears, but like cute little face. So I can see that same formula being applied to, other Yordle females now, Tristana, Poppy, etc.
Except Lollipoppy's perfect.
In fact, yeah, if we ever redid Lollipoppy, we'd actually make her more dead-eyed souls. Just like make white pupils.
Lollipoppy's not ours anymore. That's your guy. We're gonna leave that.
It's your nightmares.
Thanks, good question.